Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to spot a motivated seller. And there are two ways. One is online and one is on the road. But before we go into it, why do you want to find a motivated seller? I hear you ask. Okay, well, if someone's got motivation, so if we go onto this page here, if a vendor is motivated to move, i.e. there's something happening in their lives where they need to move house or move area soon and the house isn't selling, then a lot of the time they will take what we call a below market value offer. Okay, so I'll break it down. Let's say, for example, I'm in a property and my property is worth £100,000. Okay, and I get offered a job, but I've got to move to London. So I put my house on the market and I put it up at 100 grand because that's what it's worth, and it doesn't sell. Or it sells and the deal falls through or something. Now, as the time gets closer to when I need to move to London, my motivation is increasing because I know unless I sell this house, I can't move to London and start this new job because I need the money to do so. So as the clock's ticking and it's getting closer and closer and closer and I need to move to London, my motivation increases. If the house hasn't sold and I need to move in a month, otherwise I'm going to lose the job. If someone comes in and says to me, Grant, I'm a cash buyer, I'll give you 75 grand for that house. Now, if I could afford to do that, just take that loss. If 75 grand financially works for me, I'll do it. Because, okay, it's 25 grand less than I wanted, but unless I take this deal, I'm going to have to not accept that job in London, which I'm going to be gutted. So that's why people look for motivated sellers, especially in the deal sourcing. There's a full strategy behind it with deal sourcing. You look for motivated sellers, you give them an offer that works for them, works for you, and then you sell that deal on to an investor for a finder's fee. So I've listed, before I go to show you how you spot these motivated people, I want to quickly run you through some motivations. Now, a tired landlord. There are a lot of landlords. The government, in their genius, have changed the way that property owners can claim back interest on the mortgage payment as a cost. Without going into it too much now, there's a lot of landlords who've got big portfolios that are selling them off quite quick because the full changes comes into effect in the next few years. So landlords are quite motivated because they've got 20, 30 properties that they want to sell off. So if you can find a landlord that's motivated, you could potentially offer them 25% below market value and you'll get a good deal. So yeah, they're motivated because tax changes have come in. If someone's getting the house repossessed and they've lost a job, they're falling behind on the mortgage payments, they're very motivated to sell that house because it's better for someone to sell a house rather than have it repossessed. Because if they get it repossessed, the credit score's gone for at least 6 years, whereas if they sell it, it's just a few payments behind on the mortgage. House is run down, it needs a lot of work doing to it, it's not selling, they need to move, they're motivated because they're living in a house that's run down. If someone's got a broken chain, now what that is, it's not a bike, but if you've got your house up for sale, what a lot of people do, and I learned this when I was young, so I don't do it now when I'm moving, but when you're moving house, you put yours on Rightmove with the estate agent, and then you start to look on Rightmove for your next house. You'll see one, it's perfect, it's in the exact location that you wanted, it's got a much bigger garden, and it's right near the good schools, it's got the driveway, oh, it's brilliant, you fall in love with that house and you put your offer in. Once someone's put an offering on yours, you can then, happy days, you put an offering on the house that you're buying, everything's good, life is brilliant, we cannot wait to get this new house. You start telling your friends, your family, you're moving to this road and you've got this new house, and you in your head you pick your furniture, you might even go to DFS and order your sofas or wherever you get them from. It's all good, roses, life is good. However, then you get a phone call from the estate agent and they say, I'm sorry, Mr. McEwan, but the person that was buying your house, their circumstances have changed and they're pulling out. And you go, oh no, I'm absolutely gutted. I'm going to miss out on that house. It's my dream house. I've told all my family, I've told my friends, I've got all my furniture. Oh, what am I going to do? That's a broken chain. So if then a deal sourcer comes in and says, look, Grant, no problem. I will buy a house. I can complete in 2 weeks because I've got an investor that will pay cash. But instead of giving you 100 grand, we'll give you 75. I don't worry about that 25 grand loss that I'm taking, because all I hear from this deal source's mouth is, Grant, I can save this and I can help you move into that new house. And I just go, yeah, you know what, 75 grand works for me, let's complete. I take the pill and then I move into a new house and I'm happy. So that's a broken chain, obviously massive motivation. Inherited. If someone inherits a property, they are motivated because obviously it's a sad time because someone in the family normally has passed away. But as soon as they know that in the will that they're getting left the house, in their head, they spend that money. This will pay my mortgage off. This will get me the new car. This will put my kids through college. This will do whichever they want, whatever they want to do with it. They spend it in their head straight away. Then the house doesn't sell, and their motivation goes up because it's not money they've earned or worked for. It's just sat there waiting for them. So then they're very motivated just to get the money. Someone who goes in very similar to repossession, arrears. Someone who gets behind on the credit cards. They're very motivated to sell the house, get their equity out, pay everything off and start again. And divorcing, not a pleasant scenario, but in my experience, and I've dealt with a lot of divorce cases over the last 2 years in my deal sourcing business, when someone is getting divorced, generally they hate each other. It's never harmonious. They just want to get on with their life. He wants to run off with her, or she wants to run off with him, the new husband or the new boyfriend or whatever it is, and they just want to get on. So they're really motivated to sell the house and just move on. So if you've bought houses in the past, you might have heard your estate agent say, oh yeah, they're really motivated. It'll be because they've got one of these reasons behind them. So I just wanted to give you that page just to talk you through, why people are motivated. So you then use that. You spot these motivated people because you want a good deal on a house. You want a win-win. It's a win for them because you're helping them out of a situation. It's a win for you because you're going to get a house below market value. Whether you're buying it yourself, whether you're building up your own portfolio, or whether you're deal sourcing, which means that you find this house below market value, you find the investor, you sell the deal to the investor without you buying the house, you sell the deal to the investor and it gives you a finder's fee. Okay, so as I mentioned to you before, there are 2 ways to do this. One is online, one is on the road. So I'm going to talk you through the online version first, and it's a real cool little bit of software that not many people know about, but you are going to be one step ahead of the game. The estate agents are going to be thinking, how the hell does he or she know all this information? Because you've trained from Grant McEwan, and I'm going to give you the tips, the stuff they don't want you to know. So 2 things, make a note of this. You need a Firefox browser. Okay, doesn't work on Safari, doesn't work on Internet Explorer, if that's even still about. What's the other one I'm trying to think of? Chrome. It's got to be Firefox. So first thing you need to do, go on to firefox.com, download that browser. Okay. Then when you've got that browser, I'll come out of that. You'll have a little icon here, if you can see it, which is my little Firefox there. And you need to go onto that. You need to go to a website called property-b.com. That's property-b.com. So let's go on to Mr. Firefox. And you go up to your browser, www.property-b.com, and you'll come to this website. If you look over in the left-hand column, download, you'll need to install that. They'll ask you for normal stuff the websites do when you're registering, so name, address, email address, etc. So download that, take you about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, not if that. And once you've installed it, you'll know when you've installed it because see this little icon here, Property B, that will always be on your your Firefox browser. So you know it's installed. Okay, so that's the first thing to do. Why do you do that, Grant? Pray tell. I'm going to show you. This is the coolest thing in the world. So if you then go to Rightmove on Firefox, so you don't have to go through Property B, just make sure you've got that little Property B there in the corner. If you go to Rightmove, this is a brilliant hack. So let's put the same property in that we just searched for in the previous training video. W129RQ. Now, what happens here? In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let me just open it up. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there it is. Let me do it. 9RQ. Right, this is Rightmove, which is exactly the same as it is when you've looked at it before. But look at this. If you look under here, See this little box appears? This is property B doing its buzzing magic. So it tells you every single bit of information or any changes that have happened from when that property was first listed by the estate agent to now. How cool is that? So let's look at this. So everyone else can see on Rightmove, all your competition, all they see is this top bit. All they see, they can see it's been reduced, but they don't know by how much or who to. All they can see is 75 grand. But look, what we can see is on the 8th of December at 4:15 p.m. that property was listed. So it's been on there since last December. But now look, on the 4th of February, it changed from available to sold subject to contract. Okay, so it's sold. So it went on in December, it's sold on the 4th of Feb. But then look, 3 months later, so on the 15th of May, it changed from sold subject to contract to available. So what does that mean? Yes, you're right. It means it's a broken chain. So they had sold it, they took it off the market for 3 months, and then they pulled out. So it's gone back on the market. So then look what happens. On the 18th of the 8th, he's really motivated. He's reduced it from 80 down to 75. So this is a motivated seller. And you know when you're speaking to this vendor or you're speaking to the estate agent or whoever you're speaking to, you know that the person in this house is going to be motivated because it's been on the market for over 18 months or whatever time it is, and they've sold it, it's fallen through, they've reduced it, they're showing all these signs of motivation. So how cool is that? Now, if you go to, it works on every single property. This is going to change your property lives, even if you just use this to buy your own houses or whatever. So if you look here, what's this doing? Go away. If you look here on, okay, I'll go away, Mr. Property B. There you go, every single property. So let me see there you go. This was listed 1st of September and it's sold 18th of September 2007, it's changed from available to under offer. But what you're looking for, so when you're finding motivated sellers, you're looking for people that have reduced the price, and not sold it. Look, there's one here, it went from 399 to 385, to 385 to 380. So it's the top end, so 5 grand, not really motivated. You want people that are really chopping a big percentage of the price out. So let's get to the lower end of the market, because the lower end of the market, generally people, they're not as patient and they chop it down a lot more. So if you've got, sorry, let me just go back. Yeah, there you go. It's catching up with me. There you go. So let's have a look. Yeah, that's not a motivated person because they've listed it and sold it. That's just, again, sold, so it's not motivated. Oh, here you go, look at this little beauty. 20th of January they listed it, and they listed it for 112,000 quid, and it's on at 105. Then they reduced it in February to 109. Then they reduced it in May to 105. And then it's sold, available, subject to contract. Okay, so let's look for some more. Yeah, someone there reduced it from 115 in July. Already in September, they've knocked it down by nearly 10%. So that's someone who wants to move. So I'd put them as sort of partially motivated. So this is a great tool for you guys to use when you're, like I said, you have your deal sourcing or you're looking for motivated people. So I just sit on here, or I get my VA in the Philippines to do it now, and just scroll through and just look for someone. Look at this. Wowzers. Okay, so let's have a look. It's gone on. Yeah, look how motivated this is. So they listed it in June. This is the estate agent, trying to change the wording. And the reason the estate agent will be trying to change the wording is because the vendor will be getting onto them saying, "Come on, why have you not sold it?" And the estate agent will be trying to, make it sound better. So it went on in June. 9th of July, they changed it. A week later, we changed his wording again, but then this is where it gets good. On the 18th of August, they've reduced it, and it's gone from 114 to 110. But then, look at this now, reduced for sale online. It's actually, look how motivated this is. They're going to auction, so you could still nick this. But look, 95, so it's gone up from 115 to a guide price of 95. They're putting it in auction. That person is so motivated, it's untrue. So what I'd be doing, I'd be posting a letter through that door to say, can you contact me direct? 'Cause I want to speak to you about buying your house. Okay? Or you could go for the agent, but I always go direct. So this is how you use this software, guys. It's so powerful. Okay, so just to cover off, you go to Firefox, you download Firefox, you then go to Property B, you download it, and then this will change your property world. So that is how to spot motivated sellers online. The second way is how to spot motivated sellers on the road. Now this sounds obvious, but so many people who are looking for property or deal sourcing, they drive by these every day. Now this is a little property I bought. Look for the stinkers. In fact, this is the one that I got the RICS valuation for, so it ties in nicely. So this is on the market at 83, but look at my property, or this one I've bought, compared to next door. So if you look here, let me come out. So if you look here, it's all overgrown. Look, next door is nice and neat. It's all overgrown. The paint's worn off there. It's dull. You can tell that something's going on with that property. Now, what had happened? The owner of the property had died, and it's been sat empty for a year. So I saw it on Rightmove. I actually never went for the agent. I wrote them a letter, got in contact direct with his son who went to pick the letter up. He rang me, and I bought that house for £62,000. This is how to do it, people. And if you look at it, how did I spot it? How did I know they're motivated? Because there's no care with the property. It's overgrown. The paint's chipped. Now, you will drive past properties like this all day. They don't even have to be on the market. They don't even have to be on Rightmove. You can drive past the property. If you see it's all overgrown, go and knock on the door and just say to them, I want to buy a property. I'm an investor. I want to buy a property. Or if there's no one in, you post a letter through the door, because what will happen is if whoever owns the house will go and check it every month to check everything's okay, and they'll pick up your letter and they'll contact you. So it sounds basic, guys, but do not rule this out. Get in your car, have a drive around the area that you want to buy property in or that you're deal sourcing. Look for stuff that's overgrown, that's unloved, because it'll either be empty and the owners will want to sell it, or they'll be too embarrassed to put it on Rightmove because it stinks. But you want the stinky stuff. You want the stuff that stinks of wee, because they're the stuff that you can get cheap. And you want to drive around, go knock on the door, post a letter through, say, look, I'm an investor in the area. You know, I really want to buy property in this area. Can I buy a house? As direct as that. And that, like I said, that's exactly what I've done with this one. It's worth 83. You saw the RICS valuation in the last training video, and I've offered him 62, and he's happy because he's sold it now and it hasn't been selling. And I'm happy because I've got a house that's worth £83,000 for £62,000. And the better thing is, I'm actually doing a refurb on this property. And if you connect with me on Facebook, you'll probably see I post pictures up of the refurbs that I do. But we're going to spend about, I think it's only about £8,000 that I need to spend on it. But guess what? It's then going to be worth £115,000. And this is how you make money in property, people. You look for motivated sellers. You offer them below market value. It helps them out. We're not trying to rip anyone off. We're completely not. We're looking for win-win situations all the time. You're helping them out, and you're winning because you're getting below market value properties that you can in essence borrow 100% on, because you're getting them that cheap if you get some private funding, and then you can get a mortgage at the higher amount later on and pull all your money back out. But that's a separate strategy. So listen, guys, that is how I spot motivated vendors. So we do it online. Look for the activity, that little hack that the estate agent's going to hate the fact that you know, but you've trained with Grant McEwan, so you now know. And you get on the road, you look for stinkers, and you go knock on the door, or you post a letter through. All right, guys, I hope that really helps, and I hope you use it to find some below market value properties. See you around.